Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. If you can't make it good, at least make it look good. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. The internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years, and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. Don't let yourself be lulled into inaction. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. As century leaders will be those who empower others. Discrimination has a lot of layers that make it tough for minorities to get a leg up. The advance of technology is based on making it fit in so that you don't really even notice it, so it's part of everyday life. Information technology and business are becoming inextricably interwoven. I don't think anybody can talk meaningfully about one without the talking about the other. Software is a great combination between artistry and engineering. Climate change is a terrible problem, and it absolutely needs to be solved. It deserves to be a huge priority. Drones overall will be more impactful than I think people recognize, in positive ways to help society. I believe that if you show people the problems and you show them the solutions, they will be moved to act. I really had a lot of dreams when I was a kid, and I think a great deal of that grew out of the fact that I had a chance to read a lot. If you go back to 1800, everybody was poor. I mean everybody. The Industrial Revolution kicked in, and a lot of countries benefited, but by no means everyone. I believe in innovation and that the way you get innovation is you fund research and you learn the basic facts. Treatment without prevention is simply unsustainable. I never took a day off in my 20s. Not one. And I'm still fanatical, but now I'm a little less fanatical. In business, the idea of measuring what you are doing, picking the measurements that count like customer satisfaction and performance. You thrive on that. People always fear change. People feared electricity when it was invented, didn't they? People feared coal, they feared gas-powered engines. There'll always be ignorance, and ignorance leads to fear. But with time, people will come to accept their silicon masters. I'm a great believer that any tool that enhances communication has profound effects in terms of how people can learn from each other, and how they can achieve the kind of freedoms that they're interested in. Microsoft is not about greed. It's about innovation and fairness. Digital technology has several features that can make it much easier for teachers to pay special attention to all their students. When I was growing up, my parents were almost involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was very controversial to be involved with that. Exposure from a young age to the realities of the world is a super big thing. 2 out of every 5 people on Earth today owe their lives to the higher crop outputs that fertilizer has made possible. It's possible, you can never know, that the universe exists only for me. If so, it's sure going well for me, I must admit. I have been struck again and again by how important measurement is to improving the human condition. Connectivity enables transparency for better government, education, and health. The intersection of law, politics, and technology is going to force a lot of good thinking. Expectations are a form of first-class truth. If people believe it, it's true. Teaching's hard. You need different skills, positive reinforcement, keeping students from getting bored, commanding their attention in a certain way. There is a difference between what technology enables and what historical business practices enable. When a country has the skill and self-confidence to take action against its biggest problems, it makes outsiders eager to be a part of it. We are in the throes of a transition where every publication has to think of their digital strategy. I'm an investor in a number of biotech companies, partly because of my incredible enthusiasm for the great innovations they will bring. I'm never fully satisfied with any Microsoft product. We've got to put a lot of money into changing behavior. Unfortunately, the highly curious student is a small percentage of the kids. Being flooded with information doesn't mean we have the right information, Or that we're in touch with the right people. Well, private money can take risks, in a way, that government money often isn't willing to. Flying cars are not a very efficient way to move things, from one point to another. I'm going to save my public voice, largely for the issues where I have some depth. In almost every area of human endeavor, the practice improves over time. That hasn't been the case for teaching. In this business, by the time you realize you're in trouble, it's too late to save yourself. Unless you're running scared all the time, you're gone. The best teacher is very interactive,